Hello and a very warm welcome to iPodcast, the audio podcast from IPM. It's great to have you with us. In this podcast, we talk about everything that drives the modern world of print. Our format is aimed at everyone who ensures, day in, day out, that data is turned into magnificent print products, whether you work in pre-press, at the press, in quality assurance, or in management. Our goal is to provide you with the tools and professional knowledge you need to make your daily work easier, faster, and more profitable. In short, iPod is the podcast for you if you don't just want to master the processes in your company, but also want to develop them further, making them smarter and more efficient. Right then, let's get started.
Hello and a warm welcome. It's great to have you back for another deep dive. Just imagine you're in the annual planning meeting for your print shop. And the goal is clear: cut costs. Where do you start? Well, most of us instinctively look at the big, obvious expenses.
Of course.
First and foremost, material prices. You immediately think of printing ink. It just feels, well, logical to negotiate there.
Absolutely, that's the classic approach. You schedule meetings with suppliers, you compare price lists, and you haggle over every single cent per kilo of ink.
Right?
And in the end, you walk away from the negotiation with a discount and feel like you've made a direct, measurable gain.
A sense of accomplishment.
Exactly, a sense of accomplishment.
And that's not entirely wrong, is it? A euro saved is a euro earned. But in our preliminary chats, you've already hinted that this focus might be a trap. That we're putting all our effort into pulling a lever that barely moves anything in the end, while a huge leak next to it goes unnoticed.
That's a perfect metaphor for it. It's not the wrong action, but in relation to the overall system, it's an extreme micro-optimization.
Micro-optimization, okay.
What's really fascinating here is this huge discrepancy between the perceived success and the actual, that is, the mathematical impact on your bottom line.
Okay.
Let's run through that with a concrete thought experiment so it becomes really tangible.
I'd love to. Let's say I'm a tough negotiator. I managed to get a full euro discount per kilo of ink. In reality, that's already pretty ambitious, but...
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's work with that number.
€1 is a great number. Let's stick with that. Okay. But now we have to take the second step and ask, what does that €1 mean in production? With 1 kilogram of printing ink, depending on the design and ink coverage, you print an enormous amount of paper.
Okay.
We're talking about roughly 5,000 to 6,000 printed sheets.
6,000 sheets. That means my entire negotiation success of €1 gets spread across that huge quantity.
Exactly.
Then we're only talking about fractions of a cent per sheet.
Exactly. We're in the range of 0.016 cents per sheet. And now comes the crucial point. We have to put this saving into perspective.
Yes?
With the cost of the material you're printing on.
So with the paper.
Exactly. A single sheet of paper in the common 70 by 100 format costs you, printed in 4 colors, about 12 cents.
12 cents.
And if you're printing on cardboard, let's say a GD2 board, so a coated duplex board that you know from typical packaging, then depending on the grammage, you're quickly at 21 cents.
Per sheet.
That certainly puts the dimensions into perspective. My hard €1 discount has the value of, let me calculate quickly.
Yes?
Not even 8 sheets of paper. With cardboard, it's even less than 5.
That's exactly it. You might have spent hours negotiating to save the value of 5 sheets of cardboard, while in that same time, thousands of sheets are running through your machine.
So you're fighting on the wrong front.
You're fighting on the wrong front. Phew, that's a pretty sobering realization. You invest time and energy in an area with, yes, minimal impact. So this is where it gets really interesting.
Now it gets exciting.
If it's not the ink, where is all the money disappearing? Where is this huge leak you were talking about?
The answer is as simple as it is, painful. It's the waste sheets.
Okay.
More precisely, the setup waste. Those are all the sheets that are generated when setting up a printing press for a new job. And
go straight into the trash.
Go straight into the trash before even a single sellable sheet has been produced.
Of course, everyone in the industry knows about waste sheets, but I think many see it as a kind of necessary evil. A little bit of waste is always expected.
Right?
But most people are probably not even aware of the scale How many sheets are we talking about per setup process?
So, on industry average, and that's a rather conservative figure, a print shop uses a good 250 to 350 sheets just to set up the machine for a new job.
350 sheets.
Yes, the colors have to match exactly, the registration has to be right.
So the exact alignment of the individual printing inks so the image doesn't get blurry.
Exactly. And every correction run, every small adjustment uses material that you end up throwing away. You can get to those 350 sheets really quickly.
350 sheets per job. That alone is already a decent stack of paper. But the real impact of this number only unfolds when you scale it up, right?
Absolutely.
What does that mean for a normal work week or even for a whole year?
Now we're getting to the core of the problem. Let's take a realistic scenario. A company with one machine that runs 15 different jobs per day.
Okay, 15 jobs.
That's a normal figure for commercial or packaging printing. But that also means 15 setup processes.
15 times 350 sheets? That's over 5,000 sheets of paper. All in a single day.
5,250 sheets, to be precise.
Incredible.
They end up in the dumpster every day. And now let's scale that up to a working year with, let's say, 240 production days.
Yes.
Then that's a whopping 1,260,000 sheets of waste.
How much?
Over 1.2 million sheets.
1.2 million sheets. Wow, that's a number you can hardly even imagine. That's a huge mountain of paper. And what does this mountain cost me in euros and cents?
Let's calculate it. We take these 2.2 million sheets and multiply them by the 12 cents per sheet that we had earlier as an average value.
Okay.
That results in annual waste costs of 264,600 euros.
Wait, I need to let that sink in for a moment. Over 250,000 euros.
Yes.
That's no longer a necessary evil. That's an amount in the range of a single-family home.
Right.
Money for material that is bought, stored, transported through the machine, and then immediately disposed of.
And that's exactly where we come full circle to our initial discussion. You negotiate for weeks for €1 per kilo of ink, while here, completely unnoticed, 250,000 euros is being destroyed.
The proportions are
Completely skewed.
absolutely. But I have a feeling that even this enormous sum is only half the truth.
That's a good point.
Because it's not just about the discarded paper. What about the time during which all this waste is produced?
That's the second, even more insidious cost factor that is often completely overlooked. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
During the entire time that these 2.2 million sheets are running through the machine, your company produces nothing that you can bill a customer for.
Nothing.
The machine consumes electricity, the rollers wear out, your staff is tied up, but the revenue counter is at zero.
How much time is that specifically? A sheet runs through the machine pretty quickly.
That's right. It's a tiny time span. A sheet takes, depending on the machine and speed, about 1.2 seconds from the feeder to the delivery.
Okay, 1.2 seconds.
But even this tiny span adds up to something gigantic given the quantity. Let's do the time calculation. 1.2 seconds times 2.2 million waste sheets. That's over 2.6 million seconds.
That doesn't tell me much at first. What does that mean in hours?
Converted, that's 735 hours.
What?
Per year.
735 hours? That's almost 20 full work weeks.
Yes.
So one machine in my company runs for almost half a year without generating a single cent of revenue, just to produce waste?
That's the brutal truth. 735 hours of pure unpaid production time.
Unbelievable.
Just imagine if you could use this time for paid jobs instead. The leverage you have here is enormous. It's not just a cost saving, it's a huge revenue potential.
That's really a completely different dimension. When you take these two numbers together, the over 260,000 euros in pure material costs and the 735 hours of lost production time, then the message is crystal clear.
Yes.
Forget the negotiations about the ink price and take care of your internal processes.
Exactly.
But now comes the crucial question, which I'm sure everyone listening is asking themselves. Surely a certain amount of this waste is unavoidable, right?
Right.
It's unrealistic to think you can reduce that to zero. That sounds like a mammoth task. Where do you even begin?
That's a very important point. It's not about going from 550 sheets to zero. That's utopian.
Okay.
But it's about going from 550 to maybe 250 or 200 or even 150 sheets. Every single sheet you save is a double win. You save on material costs and you gain paid production time.
Of course.
And getting started isn't as complicated as it sounds. There are a few very effective, low-hanging fruits.
Okay, we've been waiting for this. What are the first initial and practical steps to immediately begin to plug this leak?
The first and most important step is actually always the same: creating transparency.
Measuring.
You can't optimize what you don't measure. Many companies don't even know what their actual waste rate is. It's not systematically tracked.
They just don't look.
They don't look. I remember one company where the managing director nearly fell off his chair when we calculated it for them. He checked the ink invoices every week, but he never saw the pallets of waste paper going out every day as a cost factor.
Incredible.
So the first step is to track the waste per job, per shift, and per employee.
So, first, an honest assessment. And what's the easiest way to do that without launching a huge monitoring project right away?
There are simple tools for that now. For example, we've developed a free online tool that's designed to overcome exactly this first hurdle.
Ah, okay.
On the website www.makulaturkostenrechner.de, you can enter your own estimated data, like your average waste, the number of jobs, and your material costs.
Right?
The tool will calculate for you, in black and white, the sums we're talking about. That often creates the awareness needed to get people to take action.
Great, that's a very concrete starting point. makulaturkostenrechner.de. But after the analysis, you want to take action.
Of course.
What's the next step? Once I have my numbers in front of me and I'm probably feeling a bit shocked or overwhelmed by what I see.
The second major lever is the standardization of processes. Many setup procedures take so long and consume so much material because they are reinvented every single time.
By feel.
Manual adjustments, corrections by eye. The key is to automate and standardize recurring tasks. Modern color measurement systems, for example, can adjust the machine to the correct color values almost fully automatically.
Okay?
Preset profiles for specific paper types or for recurring customers can shorten the process from 20 minutes to 5 minutes.
Wow.
That's not rocket science, that's the state of the art.
That means it's about replacing the individual skills and also the daily form of a printer with reliable, repeatable processes.
Or at least to support them. Exactly. A standardized process delivers a better result right from the start and reduces the number of correction loops.
And that means less waste.
And that means less waste, drastically. The third lever, which is often underestimated, is intelligent job planning.
Ah, job batching.
Also called job batching, exactly. So, grouping similar jobs together. Imagine you have 3 jobs that are all printed on the same paper. If you print them one after another, you eliminate a large part of the setup effort for the second and third jobs.
Sure, makes sense.
You might only have to change the printing plates, but the paper settings, the basic settings of the inking units, can often be kept.
But that poses a huge challenge for the planners, doesn't it? They also have to pay attention to delivery dates. Flexibility is everything these days.
That's the classic conflict of objectives. But technology helps here too. Modern planning software can take these parameters, same material, similar colors, delivery dates, into account and suggest an optimized sequence. It's not about making a customer wait 3 days longer, but about finding the most intelligent sequence within the given time windows. The savings here are often enormous.
That makes perfect sense. So, to summarize, first, measure and create transparency.
Right?
Second, standardize and automate processes.
Yes.
And third, bundle jobs intelligently. That sounds like a very clear roadmap.
And it shifts the focus, away from external factors like the price of ink, which you can only marginally influence, toward your internal processes.
Which I have 100% control over?
That you have 100% control over. This is where the gold is buried, not in the negotiation room with the supplier.
A really strong and, yes, important perspective. I think that should give us all food for thought. Let's get the key message to the point for everyone listening.
With pleasure. Stop haggling over cents on the price of ink. The real cost tsunami in your print shop is the mountains of waste during setup. Reduce them and you don't just save paper.
but you also gain back hundreds of hours of valuable production time.
Exactly.
And to add one more thought to that, just imagine what it would mean for your bottom line if next year you could convert just 10% of that wasted setup time and material into paid jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Not through new customers or more sales, but solely by optimizing a single internal process. We hope this deep dive was as eye-opening for you as it was for us. Sometimes the greatest treasures are right on your own doorstep. You just have to know where to dig. Thanks for taking the time. We look forward to you tuning in again soon to our podcast, Print, Think, Optimize.